Since last lecture, we have been discussing about integrity constraint. Before this, we had discussed the domain integrity constraint, which was check constraint, and we had discussed the wildcard characters. Today, we will be discussing default constraint. Default constraint means what? If you are not specifying any value for the column, then that value will not remain blank, but it will be used by a default value. And this default value is specified with the column definition itself. So the syntax is column name, data type, and the special clause default, and with it you have to specify the value which you want to be used as a default value. This is the example. Here we are specifying a default value for the address column. So if we leave the address column blank, then there the value of Valsad will be substituted. So the syntax will be address varchar 220 and default value is which value? Valsad. So if you are not providing any value for the address column, then by default Valsad will be substituted. We have discussed the constraints, we have discussed the create table command, and now after defining the structure, that is the skeleton of your table, now it is the time to insert the records into the table. To insert the record into the table, SQL insert statement is used, and the syntax is insert into. This is the main clause. Then afterwards there is a table name. After table name there is a opening parenthesis. Within the opening parenthesis you have to specify all the column names separated by a comma. Parenthesis close. Then the required clause is values, and within these values you have to provide the values which you want, and the value must also be separated by the comma. Column 1 and value 1 must match. That is, if you are specifying the column 1 as roll number, then the value must be a number. If you are specifying column as name, then value 2 must be the string type value. So this is the example. Insert into which table? Student table. Which are the columns? Roll number, comma, name, comma, address, comma, date of birth, parenthesis close. No semicolon over here because the statement is not terminated yet. So next clause is what? Values, and the value is 1 for roll number, this value for name, then address, Valsad, date of birth, this. Remember, while entering the data, you don't have to enclose the numeric value into the single quotes, but you have to enclose the string value in single quote, as well as the date value in the single. So use the delimiter for date and string type. That is, which delimiter you have to use? Single quotes. There is a shortcut for entering multiple values, and how you can enter the multiple values. First clause is insert into table name as it is, values, and values opening parenthesis, then you have to write column names, but column names must be preceded with ampersand type. Fine. And remember when you are using a string type, then it be enclosed within single quotes. But if it is numeric type, then don't enclose it with the single quotes. So when you are using ampersand, it is called parameter substitution. And when you are using it with the column name, then the SQL prompt will wait for you to enter the value. For example, if you are specifying ampersand for column 1, then it will ask a question, enter value for column 1, and it will wait for your input. Now once we have created the structure, inserted the values, now it is the time to fetch the records from the table. To fetch the records from the table, the first statement is SQL select statement. The basic select statement has 3 clauses. First one is compulsory. The order you have to remember. First is select, second place is from, and third place is where clause. That is, it is working as this form. Select will they select what we are telling? We are using a select statement. Select statement is sent to your database. Database records are fetched and then the values are displayed. So select clause specifies the table columns that are to be retrieved. The from clause specifies the table to be accessed. The where clause specifies which table records are to be displayed. That means if you want to perform some filtering, अगर आपको specific values ही चाहिए database में से, then in that case you will be using the where clause. Otherwise there is no need to use the where clause. Only two compulsory clauses are select and from. So this is the way. First is what you have to use always select, then what you have to use from, and then what you have to use where. Is your select statement, then it is your column names or all the columns or specific columns, then it is from which clause, from clause, then it is what, where clause, table, then it is clauses can be any clauses, columns can be all columns, distinct columns, or only one column. So to retrieve all the columns of the table, use select statement without the where clause. No filtering is required. To fetch specific records from the table, you have to use where clause. So fetching all the columns and all the records means what? सभी rows and सभी columns को अगर आपको select करना है तो आप क्या use करोगे? Asterisk use करोगे. Select star from table name. Select is the required clause. From is the required clause. Then star का मतलब क्या है? All the columns and all the rows. And from table name. Suppose you want to select all the values of the student table, what you will be writing? Select star from student. This will display all the values from the student table. Now to fetch specific column records, यानी सिर्फ आपको 2-3 कॉलम ही चाहिए, सभी कॉलम्स का डेटा नहीं चाहिए. Then in that case you must explicitly specify the column name along with the select statement, and the syntax is select column 1, column 2 up till column n from table name. The order of the column can be changed while fetching the record. It is not compulsory to follow the order of the columns as in your table. Say for example, if you want to fetch only the roll number and name from the student table, what you will be writing? Select roll number, comma, name from student.